Sup world. So I'm going to make this pretty short video because generally when it comes to these kind of builds, I kind of do it in my, big guide, like season 24 guide that I did before. I'm gonna do a season 25 guide explaining a lot of these things in more detail. But I wanted to bring this out there early just because I feel like, I did a lot of testing and I stumbled upon what I feel is the strongest M6 setup, and it's pretty far from the standard way of building it and playing it. And I find it a little bit more fun, at least for me. It feels a lot more like UE multi-shot, being able to spam as much as you want, multi-shots in that sense. So I was pretty proud of this particular personal best clear for several reasons, because for one, this particular clear did not have a power pylon nor a conduit pylon. Two, I'm not using any exploits. You kind of can anyways with M6 in terms of death blow, because Sentries that doesn't proc death blow anyways. I'm not using Ring of Fire, which is a huge exploit too as well. There's no dual wielding involved. So this is probably the most legit, of a 150 clear that you can get in terms of seeing a build's, actual power. And up until this point on Twitch, as I was testing, I was able to literally just continue to do 150s over and over and clearing every single time in just one key, as I'm testing and things. So this is the byproduct of all that testing that I've done. So with that being said, let's go over the build and sort of how it works. So I'm going to go to the cube. DML is pretty standard, so that's going to be there. You see Hex and Pants here. It's not something you really have to do, but I like Hex and Pants and I like how it works with some of the skills in my bar, and also, and also of course you get a damage increase for being able to stutter step with it, but it also does really well with preparation punishment, which is what I have on the bar here, as well as companion because it's bat. And then you have the warrior ring, of course, for the Captain Crimson and Marauder setup here. But going to the skills, there's preparation punishment, like I just said. It restores 75 hatred. With Hex and Pants, it restores 100 hatred. So, that's really good to, be able to spam multi-shot, because if you look at my bar, I don't have a generator. I have no generator at all. And I'm still able to spam multi-shot and not run out of hatred at all. Spamming multi-shot and Sentries is actually pretty awesome. Then I have smoke screen here. This is more so to help keep up squares and also to give me another cooldown skill in my bar. So I chose Vanishing Powder. It goes off quite often to keep me pretty safe for the most part, but it gives me a cooldown to be able to get, the affixes on the Sliver of Terror for cooldowns, right? So then you got Companion, because of course you have to, but the bat is probably one of the more important ones, because of course the bat, gives you hatred back, as well. And of course, as that affects, or that works for Hex and Pants. So I get hatred back from both of these sources 25% more than you normally would because of me running Hex and Pants. Then of course there's Vengeance. Vengeance kind of comes off a cooldown quick enough for you to be able to use it on a more kind of normal basis. It's not anything like Dawn per se in that sense, but it's up enough for you to be like, yeah, I think I want to have this on the bar. And of course it's a cooldown skill, so you can't go wrong with that. I chose Dark Heart over Seath here just because the additional toughness is going to really be able to help, a little bit, since you realize I'm not running Zoe's here, which, looks like a pretty big red flag, but I'll explain why it's really not that bad later on. But going to this skill here, multi-shot, I chose Arsenal, and mainly it's because of the fact that I'm pretty much leapfrogging Sentries, so I'm not gathering the entire map because I don't really need to. I'm actually able to kill on the way. So I've done in my testings, a lot of times I would just walk through the rift because I was strong enough to actually kill things on the way. Literally every mob on the way, including yellow Juggernauts. I didn't skip. I just killed it and still made progress, which is nuts. That's almost generally unheard of for Demon Hunters, period. So I think that's pretty cool. And it's the reason why I think Arsenal is the better choice over physical, plus better on the Rift Guardian, so you don't need to slot stricken or anything like that to be able to make a kill there. So I think Arsenal is definitely the way to go with this particular playstyle or this particular setup. Going with Sentries now, of course, you got Polar Station, that's for Cold of the Week, and Bane the Trap procs, more damage, pretty simplistic there. But if you notice a theme here, I have 5 5 cooldown skills on my bar. And that's important because with the Sliver of Terror gem, you basically you gain 20, or you gain, sorry, I'll just read the fix. For every skill on cooldown, you take 12.5% reduced damage and deal 75% increased damage. So you have, I have 5 of these. Now, in a standard M6, you can really, you know, pretty much fit 3, you know, or comfortably fit 3, right? So me being able to fit 5 also gives me not only more damage, considerably more damage, but also gives me more toughness too, which allows me to kind of, you know, maybe not have to rely so much on, you know, a Zoe's belt here if I don't want to go that route, you know. Still a choice, or whatnot. But moving on. So no generators, so of course I can't run focus and restraint with it. So there's convention of elements, of course, here, and then I chose Unity. You can go with elusive ring for more toughness, because again, you know, your armor slot may not be Zoe's, so you know, elusive ring is a good choice to have here. But I went with Unity. You can do Stoner Jordan, but Unity because I really wanted the extra toughness with the follower here, the 50%, and I also wanted the elite damage here. So I might play around with this and do something else with this slot. But the thing is that this slot is open. You can pretty much do whatever you feel like doing here, you know, with this. And if you don't really, if you want to do more of a standstill, you can just run endless walk instead, you know, instead of squares here. That's also an option if you want to go that route. But I guess one of the red flags too is just like, you know, well, you're not running focus and restraint, so you're losing, you know, a pretty big multiplier. But considering that I'm not running focus and restraint, but I'm able to gain 2 additional cooldown skills and fire more multi-shots without having to worry about fitting in a generator in between while trying to spam sentries in between, it makes this a much more fluent gameplay, and you make up the damage by, you know, by this combination versus using focus and restraint. So it's about just as strong as using focus and restraint, just without all the additional headaches involved in that. So going to passives, traditional stuff, cold or weak, ballistics, custom engineering, steady aim, you know, that kind of stuff. Sometimes I swap out steady aim for like tactical advantage to kind of give me just a little bit more speed to move around and things like that, to get out of some trouble and, with a smoke screen. But I find that with the Shard of Hatred, that you know, every time you deal poison damage to an enemy, you increase your cooldown reduction and movement speed by 10 seconds, you know, or by 5 for 10 seconds, sorry. So you end up with 50% more move speed anyway, so you're pretty mobile even without additional things to use to make you even more mobile in that sense. And of course I roll poison damage to be able to get, you know, the procs for the or the affixes for the Anguish Soul Star. So that's pretty much it. So however, like I said, I probably go into more depth with this in my season 25, everything you need to know about Demon Hunter Guide. But hope you guys enjoy the gameplay video ahead, and yeah, okay. channeling pylon, really? I'm gonna skip it. Ow. What's up, man? I'll show you in a sec. This is Marauders. Crappy floor though. Guess I'll just walk through it. I haven't got any good pylons yet. I got one pylon. That was the channeling. Which means I'm only going to get one bad pylon, I guess, and that would be speed. If I get another one before I spawn a Rift Guardian. Ideally, I want a power though. I'm going to beat him out. Other personal best. Oh, shield. Whatever. That was quick. Okay, who's the RG? Fishing, huh? Okay, new personal best. That'll work. No power, no conduit. Ah, not a festering, not a battlefields. Health bars. I keep. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. I'm sorry.